Sweep them from the field!
What is up, guys? Welcome to yet another episode of Against All Odds. This time we have a save from Play for Beer on our Discord server, and if you've had any saves that you guys are having trouble with or any interesting battles, send them my way. This is a Follow the Samurai battle where we have a unit of Yarikachi, some Spear Levy, and one unit of Line Infantry and Kisho Ninja. A very interesting composition. This is very early game, so if he loses this, he could actually lose his entire campaign. Against us, we have a... which faction is this? Gujo Hachiman, with a healthy amount of Line Infantry, Levy Infantry, some Spear Levy, one unit of Yarikachi, and in the reinforcing army, even more Line Infantry. And I'm happy to see Line Infantry in this fight. That might be weird if you think that modern units are more dangerous to fight, given the setting. But I'm happy to see a lot of Line Infantry in this fight. This battle is featuring a mountaintop fortress, Battle of Otsu in 1864. A mountaintop fortress. There's a lot of impassable terrain here. There's some very steep slopes, so the reinforcements are going to take a long time to link up. And the enemy army is also going to deploy. This is post-commentary, by the way, so this is after the battle. The enemy army is going to deploy pretty dispersed, and I need to take full advantage of that. There's two dimensions to this fight. The first is obstructing the enemy line infantry, taking advantage of the line of sight mechanics so that they don't have a chance to bring their guns to bear, while at the same time I need to keep my guns firing as much as possible. Ideally we want to expend all their ammunition, but not too quickly so that we're out of ammo and the fight is still going on. And the second part of this fight is defeat in detail. We want to try and defeat as many units as possible before the enemy army converges on the fort. The reason for that is I don't have that many units in this fight, and I cannot afford to fight on every wall, to cover every wall in the fort. I don't have enough guns for that, and I don't have the men to get attritions like that. I need to be constantly moving. Kisho Ninja, I was very reserved with how I deployed them. The issue with Kisho Ninja is it's a unit that's very easy to throw away. They're going to be operating, if you try to operate with them isolated from the rest of the army, they're likely to get hunted down by cavalry. And so my first order of battle is to knock out the Yarikachi melee core. This is really good. I want to get rid of the Yarikachi very early in this fight. You want to try, if there's Yarikachi or there's Shogutai in the enemy army, you want to prioritize getting rid of those units early while they're unsupported, while they're isolated. Because either if you leave them, if you give them the chance to converge on the fortress to reach the walls, your guns are definitely not going to repulse them. One. Two, they are going to take such a long time to get rid of that you're going to have some of your units tied down when they could be used better elsewhere. So I'm micromanaging my general here to get the Yarikachi to run after him. And I'm being pretty... I'm adapting really well to this scenario here. I did not plan to kite them like this, but I saw the opportunity arise. I saw that there was a window of opportunity there to isolate them from the rest of their army. So I decided to change my footing a bit and to get my general down there into the fray and try and pull away the Yarikachi, effectively take them out of the fight while I deal with the enemy cavalry. It's important to deal with the enemy cavalry when you have a Kisho Ninja. You want to get rid of the enemy cavalry as quickly as possible so that your Kisho Ninja can operate more safely. Kisho Ninja are a high risk, high reward kind of unit, and I'm going to show you mostly how to use them well in this fight. There are maybe a few blunders, but you're going to see a pretty decent showing of what Kisho Ninja can do. Kisho Ninja, Spear Levy, Yarikachi working together to decimate, to get rid of the enemy cavalry along with some Spear Levy. Yarikachi are out of the fight. They're out of the way. They're being forced around the impassable terrain. I'm gonna loop around with my general and bring the Yarikachi back to present them as a target for my guns. Levy infantry are really useful in a scenario like this because they have more ammo than line infantry, and in the case of the garrison unit, it's expendable, so it gives me a bit of flexibility in the fight. I can pull them around, redeploy them to wherever there's a trouble spot. Exchanging fire with the enemy line infantry, not a good idea. You don't want to exchange fire in these siege assaults unless you're deliberately trying to delay them. And for those of you paying attention, or if you've watched my videos before, you probably know what I did there with the gate. I burnt down my own gate deliberately at the start of the fight because enemy modern units, their AI is programmed to go for gates if they're available. So instead of having them all converge in one section of the fort or climb the walls, they're going to try marching all the way around. They're going to try marching all the way around. There we got one unit of spear levy, I believe, down there, who is this starting to annoy, starting to be a bit of a nuisance to my units. Spear levy, enemy spear levy are more of a nuisance than a threat. It's the Yarikachi who are the real dangerous opponents here. Of course, we have our own unit of Yarikachi, which we are going to use to great effect in this fight. Spear levy is running around trying to go for my general, I think, but is only exposing itself to my levy infantry or line infantry. I forgot which one is the line infantry. I can't tell at this point. And now, because we got rid of the spear levy and the cavalry that spawned in the southeast of the map, I'm doing that based on the minimap, the Yarikachi the enemy Yarikachi are returning to the fight in a point where my own Yarikachi and spear levy, with all that experience and with the general nearby with his own experience as well, his own command stars. And I don't like the stat stacking aspect of this, but whatever, I gotta do what I gotta do in these fights. My spear levy and the Yarikachi are now free to deal with the enemy Yarikachi, and the Kisho Ninja are gonna support. I want to try and route the spear levy to at least get the morale debuff, the friends routing morale debuff, and there they routed. So all of those Yarikachi are gonna have are gonna take a morale debuff. I'm putting my Kisho Ninja away because I realized that they're gonna get targeted by the Yarikachi, and this is great. This is a great way to counter Yarikachi. You want to neutralize their charge. You want to avoid taking their charge as much as you can. And now we're unleashing the fire bombs. Kisho Ninja and Follow the Samurai only get 2 volleys, so I got to make the most of them. I'm going to use them against the Yarikachi, who are already wavering. They got hit in the flank. They're getting hit by ninjas. They're going to get hit in the flank by my general and the spear levy. And yeah, that's one unit of Yarikachi that routed. Hopefully the next is going to follow soon. Wavering. I'm losing some of my general. It's unfortunate. Slow to replenish. Enemy line infantry are taking forever to get into the fort. They keep on turning around to fire at my units on the walls, which I guess it's working in my favor at this point. It's a major delaying tactic. And there's a plateau in front of the gate which is obstructing their line of fire. So even though my general is within their range, he's also protected. He's shielded. He's shielded by the plateau. Those line infantry don't have their sights on him. And I'm pulling back both my line infantry and my levy infantry off the walls now. I don't want to keep on exchanging fire. Now is basically the meat of the fight right now. Now is where you have to break the highest number of units. You have to do a lot of breaking and shattering now. Still got the spear levy over here being annoying. Charged the spear my own spear levy back into them. And that is a shattered spear levy. That spear levy without any experience are really flimsy, but with the amount of experience, it's rank 4, and with the general, the morale buff from the general, they're gonna hold pretty well in the fight. They will, at the very least, buy a lot of time for us. We're still exchanging fire with my line infantry, taking some losses. I'm gonna pull them off the walls now. Kisho Ninja are out of the way. I'm gonna keep them hidden. They're They're the wild card at this point. I already popped stealth, I think, like twice in this fight. I think by the end of the fight, I've popped stealth maybe 4 or 5 times, making the most I can out of it. Now you're seeing what I told you about the AI's tendency to go through gates. They're not climbing the walls. We're going to force them into the worst possible choke point, the mother of all choke points. And in this lull in the fighting, this brief lull in the fighting, I decided, you know what, I could actually maybe pull the general forward. That's a saber cavalry, sorry. Pull the saber cavalry, why not? It's a free target, and I have some units to spare, I might as well try. Kisho Ninja is hidden. Spear Levy is hidden, shielded behind that plateau and the fort. Here we go. Spear Levy. And Spear Levy fighting Saber Cavalry while supported by our Levy Infantry. Enemy General, though, still hanging back with all of his cavalry contingent, not bothering. My Levy Infantry is getting free kills now, no return fire. And I'm going to... This is pretty unconventional. You don't see... You might not do this often, but I'm actually trying to get line infantry onto the gatehouse walls. I remember playing this game all these years ago and never using them. Like, why would I ever use them? They never go through the gates. But now I realized, they have an actual role to play, and I'm going to use them pretty decisively here. Saber Cavalry is about to break off. I'm sending my general out in the other way in a wide flanking maneuver. Gonna send them a long way around the forts to try and hit all of these Levy gun units, light infantry in the rear. We charge the Spear Levy. Unfortunately, it's not a garrison unit, so I still want to avoid losing it, even if it's a Levy unit. Kisho Ninja are sitting, waiting for an opportunity. I have to time all these blows like a 1-2 punch together. They're not going to shatter from any one element I throw at them. It has to be a combination of factors. It has to be getting hit in the flank by like 2 units, 3 units, getting fired on by guns, having friends rout. I have to pile on so many morale debuffs right now to actually get the chain route going. It's not enough to just have 1 unit hit them in the rear. Kisho Ninja still invisible, I suppose. Pulling them out of the fight. I'm extricating them from the fight because I do not want to leave Kisho Ninja in a brawl. I want them to be decisive. I don't want to lose them. I don't want them to get whittled down in the melee, and I certainly don't want to lose them at all in this fight. Such a valuable unit. Such a valuable unit that you can do so much with, and I do not want to lose them at all in this fight. General's coming and hitting them in the rear. We got some wavering units down there, but it appears we have not gotten the route. This is what I told you. You have to pile in. It's not enough to just have one of these. To have just one of these shocks. You need to have multiple shocks all converging at the same time for this army to rout, because they do have a bit of experience and they have a general as well who's giving them a passive morale buff. And they also have the advantage in numbers, which buffs their morale, I believe. So we have a Spear Levy that routed, unfortunately. We had... we managed to also rout one of the enemy units, but not enough. It's not enough, and now my Kisho Ninja are taking losses. This is the blunder I was talking about, and they're about to rout. Especially when you have so many units in this choke point, it's really, really, really iffy. I also don't want my Kisho Ninja to get shot in the back, so that's why I'm trying to run them down that slope. Have the terrain shield their rear. I see this units of line infantry wavering. I decide to take the charge. Maybe I can make something work. It's not... This is not really a trade that I want to take, but I guess I have to. The farther I take my general away from the fight, the longer it's going to take to get him back, and I don't want to get him too far for him to be able to contribute again. This is not a pretty exchange to make. I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna bring the Kisho Ninja in. I'm gonna run my general down. I'm gonna get the Kisho Ninja involved. They can be used as a form of Katana Samurai in a pinch if you need them to just do a bit of slaughter on an already depleted unit. And it worked. It worked, and we're gonna capitalize that advantage and finish off this Levy infantry that has managed to rally, but his morale is hanging on a thread. Popped stealth to get the added morale shock and to not take any counter charge. I was getting really trigger happy with stealth. Like I just, and it's now or never. Like I don't want to be too cautious, and fail to route a unit because I just wanted to save the ability for later. Though I believe the Kisho Ninja might still have a volley left. We'll have to see about that. But we have them caught in a really bad fight, the enemy army. They're fighting in this narrow choke point, and they're fighting uphill against Yarikachi. Yarikachi will hold. They are tanks. They will hold in a fight. I'm also walking the Kisho Ninja to try and hide them again. I don't want any enemy range units turning around to fire into my Kisho Ninja. That would break my heart. Still got some fire going from the Levy infantry. Only 117 kills, not that great. But what they lack in kills, they made up for in the amount of time they bought us. And now I'm getting ready for another blow. This has to work. I can't afford to miss this opportunity. My general is too depleted and the Kisho Ninja at the same time. And I'm sorry, the Kisho Ninja don't have any ammo. I was mistaken. There's literally a bar there that I can look at. But we already have a wavering unit here. Their morale is pretty damn iffy. And I can maybe make something work. I don't have stealth, unfortunately, but I'm not gonna wait 20 seconds for it to happen. Ready to strike, sir. 410 kills on the unit of Kisho Ninja. We took a few losses. We lost, I think we started with 47 men. We lost 21 men to kill. That's extremely good. Especially because they have such a small amount of men in the unit, it puts a cap on their killing power, their killing rate. And I'm going to bring in the general. He's going to charge very slowly because they're all very, very, very exhausted. And that should be enough. That should be enough. Yep, it's working. It's working. We're finally getting it. And they're going to run right into my Kisho Ninja. Now the problem is, this is my Kisho Ninja have such small numbers now that they can't finish off this entire mass. So I have to run them down to the general and micromanage them to make sure that none of these units manage to rally. That is so damn beautiful. I'm also sending out the spear levy to chase because they're gonna get bottled up in the choke point, and the spear levy will be able to keep up. That is the power of Yarikachi, of just one unit of cavalry, even as the general, and using guns as a sort of delaying tactic, just exchanging fire with enemy, slowing down their advance. And of course, Kisho Ninja. Just having that wild card unit, so just a bit of flexibility. You got bombs, you got stealth, you got the fact that you got the anti-infantry specialty, so if you have any straggler units or any isolated units, you can use them as Katana Samurai in a pinch, sort of shock infantry. Yeah, that's a lot of men. That is a lot of them. Follow the Samurai has the best siege defenses. Hands down. This is just a demonstration of it. And you don't even need an upgraded fort for that. Imagine if we had an upgraded fort, it would be even more interesting. There's so much more you can do with redeploying units. and creating killing zones inside the fort. There's also this weird pathfinding thing that happens in this part of the map with this this gates thing. I think in Japanese mythology it's like a gate to heaven or whatever. I forgot what the name of the gate is. I just need to make sure these units are shattered. I don't want anything to rally. Truly amazing. Truly amazing. Gotta love it. All that's left is to finish off the generals. They're not advancing, so I have to send a unit in as baits to try and push them forward, and we're done with that. Just get them. I'm sending out the Spear Levy garrison because, of course, it's a garrison, and it's working. So you got 2 units of Spear Levy outside. You got the guns covering the approach, and we're just gonna slaughter them. It's gonna be basically finishing off this fight with a replay of Nagashino. 300 years later, and these guys are still running here. Well, I don't blame them. They don't have Google Maps, so they definitely can't find their bearings, right? It's going to be a lot of experience for Spear Levy garrison, I think. We'll see if they can take out all these cavalry units at once, but they might get the army losses at the same time. I managed to barely rally that unit, but yeah, it just barely stayed in the fight. Awesome work. I'm proud of these Sioux warriors. I am proud of these Sioux warriors. I am so very proud of them. Made the most of every single unit here, and not a single one was lost, I think. I mean, one of them was routed. We had one unit of Spear Levy rout. That's correct, I think, but not killed. That is so incredibly beautiful. It is so damn beautiful. The sounds, the sights, the gameplay, it's amazing. Am I gonna get heroic victory? I don't remember. Did I get the heroic victory? Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I'm wondering what's disqualified it from a heroic victory. Did I just take too many losses, or maybe I didn't kill enough of them? Decisive victory. 600 men survived, or 500 at 600, and it's not ideal, but that is a 127.5 KD. 697 kills on Kisho Ninja. Holy crap. And then 653 on Levy Infantry. Yarikachi only got 200 kills. That's funny to see. But then again, the Yarikachi aren't the big killers. They're just they're not supposed to be the big killers. They're the ones that are rushing over to any weak spot and reinforcing it, and just holding in the melee as long as you need them to, and maybe hunting down some cavalry, which they did. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really enjoyed this save. It's really the pinnacle of Fall of the Samurai sieges. Not a single unit lost. I was correct. One was routed. And that's it. And we're moving forward. Just a little bit of a plus 2000. So again, if you have any saves, any interesting battles, lopsided battles, send them my way. Discord link is in the description. And you can also hop onto Patreon. Support me there. I definitely appreciate that. Bye-bye.